What's going on, everybody? We are back yet again, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna say this to anyone that watches this video, and I'm just gonna say this. You don't have to agree with what I say, you don't have to like what I say, but at the same time, you're the one that decided to click on the video. I know the last video I didn't think was going to do very well. Surprisingly, there was a lot of comments. There was comments on there that I did not mind agreeing with. There was ones that I thought that were very outlandish because of, saying that, oh, I was giving it too much critique and that I didn't know what I was talking about, and oh, about the story and all these things. And it's one of those things where, again, if you watch enough movies, TV shows, and you learn about what goes behind the scenes, and among other things, you're going to pick up a few things. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this. Again, watch the episode. If you like it, great. If not, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and say this. This was the most so-called action-packed episode. The villain, which is later revealed to actually be a Sith, or what he calls himself to be, he starts fighting the Jedi after Osha wakes up and trying to figure out what's going on. One Jedi is already gone. He starts fighting the other Jedi. He just starts massacring these Jedi. He even injures Yord, and he gets away after, of course, Soul starts trying to fight him, and he's telling Yor to go get Osha to get her out of there. And what's really interesting, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this, during all the fights, because this villain, he goes up against Soul, he goes up against Jackie, the Padawan, I believe, to Soul, and all these other Jedi. The only two that could keep up with him, to however degree, was Soul and Jackie. That was the most interesting thing to me. And when they were fighting him, he got the best of them, and then they got a little bit of best of him, because he kept wanting to say that he was better, he would go in their beliefs, and how he even tells Mai that maybe you can learn something from this Padawan about being loyal, because Jackie actually finds, or however you want to pronounce her name, she finds May, or Mai, however you want to say it, and there's people getting mad about it. You know what? I don't care. They're fighting. She tries to take the lightsaber, and what gets me, though, is this Padawan is able to fight her off, and the other Jedi Masters couldn't, and she's able to pretty much arrest her until this, Sith shows up and fights the Padawan, then starts fighting Soul when he shows up. Yord is trying to escort Osha off-world, and she keeps trying to argue with him, even though he got his ass kicked. And he's saying that he gets in your head, and you don't know he's just there. And she's like, yeah, my mother did that. And there's speculation, was it Osha and May's mother? That is not the case. I'm going to go ahead and reveal who this is. This is the Potion Master, or whoever it is, the one that was helping May in the beginning. He is the Sith, whoever he is. I don't know if he's Sith Lord. I don't know if they're going to go that route. Because he pretty much sees them and he's like, hey, you remember me? Now, we'll say this, though. It amazed me on when they were fighting that the lightsabers kept going out. So, I don't know if it was just the lightsabers with that, like how normal, because 9 times out of 10 when a lightsaber goes out, it is because of either it being cut off, something malfunctioning within it, or something else. So it kind of got me that every time I turn around that Soul had that issue, Jackie has that issue, these other 2 Jedi had this issue, and it was never really explained. Now, again, someone's going to be like, probably making a comment down in the comments, which is whatever, but I will say this. The only thing I liked about this episode was the ruthlessness of this Sith. But again, how are they going to retcon this? How are we going to know who he, does it have to do with Plagueis? Does it have to do with any other, the master of Plagueis or his master? Where does Rule 2 involve in this? Did he bleed his lightsaber at one point? Was he trained by Soul at one point and Soul doesn't remember him? or something was done to him in the Jedi Order, because he doesn't align himself with the Jedi. Now, I will say they did surprisingly go with the whole thing after he kills Yord, which was shocking, and I'm kind of glad they did kill that character off because he was annoying. He kills him, and then Soul just loses it. He almost, I would say, almost closes the dark side, because it's weird how, and he says like, oh, attacking an unarmed, and then he finally says that Jedi do not attack the innocent or someone that's unarmed, which is true, especially what Anakin said in episode 3. Now, the other thing that is very interesting to me is how he brings up two things, because Saul attacks him while he's got May hostage, and he says attacking me while my back's turned, that's not very Jedi of you, which is a little correct, and then the same thing with him saying, what are you? He says, well, I guess ones like you would call me Sith. So it makes you wonder how he would know what a Sith is. It makes you wonder who trained him, how he, did his lightsaber bleed. And you're going to tell me this, and then we're going to get into real critiques here in a minute. Then after Osha comes back with Yord, and even after he gets, taken out, and Jackie gets taken out as well. And I will say that the way he did it is because she attacked him while they were getting on the offensive. He opens up another part of the lightsaber, like the bottom part, and then lights up another lightsaber. Now, I will say that was kind of cool, a little different. And then it gets revealed to be who it is. And the bugs that Osha saw, she was trying to bring them back to the battle area, and she kind of gave a signal to Soul of, hey, look up. And these bugs attack the Sith, and he just starts trying to cut them, and they take them, and then later on he gets freed, which I found very silly. And you're going to tell me after this Sith Lord just magically gets taken by these bugs and then finally comes back, and Osha is taking the place of May, vice versa, because they try having this conversation after May knocks out Soul with the stun gun, and they start trying to talk, and Osha tries to arrest May one more time, and she knocks her out with her power, because Osha is just she's not that powerful. May is not that powerful, or Mai is not that powerful, however you want to say it. And I'm assuming they both think, the Sith thinks, okay, that could be May, and then the other one, obviously Soul, thinks that is Osha, which, again, you should be able to see with, the way they act. You're going to be able to see it. Us as the audience, obviously. Us in them in the show, I don't know. I mean, the writing is just, oh my gosh, man. The writing is very off the wall. And for someone to say, oh, it does make sense. How does it make sense? Explain to me, how does it make sense? Because it really doesn't. The choreography could have been a lot better. The only fight that I really enjoyed to a certain degree was Soul and then the Apprentice, and it made me wonder how they were able to take on this Sith and the other ones weren't. They were just pretty much standing around. I mean, again, you have one person, you outnumber him, and this dude took out, 6, 7, 8 Jedi within like one fight, and then knocks out another one. I will say again, I like the ruthlessness of this Sith character. It makes me wonder again who trained him, where did he come from, how did he become, maybe he was a Jedi at one point, maybe he tried to become a Sith. I don't know. I mean, again, how are they going to supposedly work on this and fix this, because they screwed up so much with Ki-Adi-Mundi, and again, it is canon for his damn age. I'm so tired of people saying that. Look it the hell up. It is out there. It is in the fucking movies, y'all. I am so tired of that crap. I am so tired of Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy up their own ass of arrogance and ignorance. Oh my God, these people do not know Star Wars. I don't know everything about Star Wars. I'm going to admit that right now. Do I know everything about Star Wars? No. But I know that this still is not Star Wars. I'm sorry. I've seen fights better than this from fans. I've seen this better in other things. It's pathetic, and I'm sorry. Was this, if they were trying to say what it was going to be better than the sequel fights? No, it wasn't. It was going to be better than the prequel fights? No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. This is not going to beat the Darth Maul Obi-Wan Qui-Gon Jinn fight. This is not going to beat the Anakin Obi-Wan fight. It's not going to beat that. No. I don't know how you think that. I don't know. I feel like I'm setting myself up for disappointment every time I watch this. And again, ones are like, oh, well, why are you going to watch it? Because I got to have an opinion. I may give it a break and then go back to it in a couple episodes and see if anything has improved to just the slightest point of enjoyment. Um, Again, 1 out of 10, I give this a 2.5. Like I said, the only thing I enjoyed was the ruthlessness of this Sith. And then same thing, wanting to know more about that character, and also how he got his, did he bleed his, his lightsaber to red, and then at the same time, the fight between him and Jackie was kind of cool, and the same thing for him and Soul. That was the only thing I was impressed with. Some of the fine choreography was not that bad. Some of it I felt like could have been a lot better. But again, the characters that were killed off, I didn't care about. Some of the characters I wish they would kill off, honestly. I don't care about May, Mai, whatever. I don't care about Osha. I didn't care about Yor. The only one that I was really shocked that they killed was Jackie. That was the only one I was really like, oh wow, they actually killed her off. Soul, I got a feeling he may be killed off later on. I think they're trying to hold on until a little later, till he actually makes somewhat of a difference in the story, to like, hey, maybe he did do something to Osha that, the so-called Sith knows about. Who knows? What do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you as always on the next one.